Hey, hi everyone. Morning. I hope you had a good week. And First of all, let's wait for a couple of minutes for everyone to join. So right now we are doing this stream both on LinkedIn and YouTube. I think majority of you guys are gonna see it in YouTube. So if you're on LinkedIn, you can continue watching that. But if you want to interact with other people to see other people's comments, come to YouTube, search for Hari Prasad Data, and you should be able to find my channel, and you'll be able to see the live that's happening right now. And also one more heads up, this live is you're gonna build a live, it's a live demo. You're gonna build an AI app and I'm gonna show everything from scratch. So if you're watching from a small screen, like a phone screen or something, I highly recommend you to switch it to a laptop or tablet or even TV so that it'll be easy for you to follow through the entire demo that I have for today. But anyway, let's see how many folks are here. I think people are joining. Hey, Sujit. Uh, hey, Jackie. So let's start with the standard question. So where are you guys joining from? I live in New Jersey right now, in the US. Where are you guys joining from? Hey, Jackie. Uh, Tuning in from Greyhound bus traveling to Alabama. So that's cool. I see that you want to be productive even during this travel time. Hey Sujit from Trichy. Hey Free Will, I don't know what your name is, but from India. Farhana from San Francisco. Hey, it must be pretty early over there, I guess. I appreciate you tuning in over here. And hey, Ryan from New Zealand. Uh, yeah, it will be recorded. If you come back to the same link, I would say save this link somewhere so that you can always come back to the same link. It'll be there on YouTube forever. So, hey Karthik from Virginia, and hi Kavya. Oh nice, Ravi from France. So we have a global audience here today. That's cool. Hey Vignesh from Bangalore. Um, hi, Ramya from Florida. Yeah, I can really see people from tuning in from different part of the world. I know you all are in different time zones, but still, I appreciate you taking effort in attending this live demo. I believe and I hope you'll get to learn a lot of things today. Hey, Shavya from Connecticut. So I think I promised 3 minutes. I think 3 minutes here. Uh, we have a lot to cover today. So I'll just get started. In between, if you have any questions, just put it in the chat. I can see the chat parallelly and I can answer your questions immediately if you have anything. So let me share my screen. Okay. So I hope you can see my screen here. So this 1 hour of workshop. You can call it a live demo or like whatever, like a lecture or whatever you want to call it. So we are going to build an AI app only using no code tools. You're not going to write a single line of code in this entire demo that you're going to see. And I want you to promise something. After this live is done, I want you guys to try out the entire steps. So this video will be recorded. It will be on YouTube here. You can come back to the same link and you can watch this video again. But promise me that you're gonna try out this entire process and build your own application. Obviously, not the same use case. Come up with an idea, have a different use case. So if you promise me, like, can you add this symbol? Like the hand symbol and say, I promise I'll do have a practical approach towards this. Let me can you type promise in the comments? Just like a commitment for you guys so that I'll be happy that you are getting something out of this. Okay, Kavya made her first promise. So yeah, I want everyone to do that. Uh, I'm not gonna get anything out of it. If you want even bigger validation, build the app, go to your LinkedIn and post about that particular app that you built and share it with other folks so that other people can benefit out of it as well. Tag me in the post if you're doing that so that I'll also know what you have built. And so without any delay, let's just get started. Thank you for all the promises. I'm really looking forward to see what you're gonna build. So, but for now, let's let's start with a quick introduction about me. A few of you might know me, but for those who don't know me, like I did my master's in data science from Columbia University here in New York. Right now, I'm working as a data scientist in a gaming company called Take-Two Interactive. It's a parent company of Rockstar Games and 2K Games. Don't ask me when GTA 6 is gonna come out. Even I don't know. You might have seen me create content on LinkedIn, YouTube, Substack. I have my newsletter with AI updates, and I've I've been doing this AI teaching journey for like 2 years now. I've taught like people from various experiences and different age groups, and I've taught over 700 people with the basics of AI, and I've also helped 500 people to build their own AI product before. And this entire lecture is just a cumulative approach. I've gathered all those things in a single 1 hour workshop so that you can get the most value out of this. Enough about me. This is the agenda for today, just to give you an idea of what you can expect today. First thing, we're gonna go cover over a couple of templates to follow when you're building the AI app. The first template is from a user perspective. We're gonna see how the user is gonna see your app. Second thing is from a developer perspective. You as a developer, how you're gonna design this entire app. Uh, Trust me, the developer workflow template that I have, it covers almost 90% of the AI bootcamps that you're going to ever find online. And and then we're going to see what tools to use because specifically I've mentioned you're going to do using no code tools, which means I'm also going to give you a few examples on what tools you're going to use. Finally, this is not going to be a boring lecture. It's going to be a live demo. I'm going to build an entire app right in front of you and let's see if it's going to work. Hopefully it works. And finally, there is a big surprise. I'm not going to reveal that now. For those who can stick around till the end, you will get to know what the surprise is. Now, let's start with the user journey template. Now that you have decided I want to build an AI app, I'm sure you would have like came across a lot of AI apps before. Apart from ChatGPT, Gemini, and all those things, other AI apps like, for example, some AI app can take in a couple of your information and can give you some dietary instructions. It can be that it can take your profile and all those things. Maybe it can try to find a match for you. It can also be that, but a user journey template is nothing but the template that you're going to design to understand how the user is going to go through your app. Ideally, the app starts with the landing page. I think you can see my cursor here. So it starts with the landing page. It is the marketing page. It's the main page that you always see. And from there, you have an option to sign up or login. The user will be able to sign up or login, and so that they can get access to your particular app. And you'll see a main page or dashboard. And these two are the most important components. User is going to give some sort of input and finally they're going to get some sort of output, and there is something happening in between this user input and user output. Let's call this like a black box. Let's call this a magic right now because it's a developer's responsibility to solve this magic. User doesn't care what's happening in the background. So this is how a typical user journey template looks like. Doesn't mean you should have all these elements. For example, you can combine landing page, sign up login, and main dashboard all in a single page. And it can be a static website like that. And it can have a user input even on the same landing page, and output page can be a different one. You can mix and match stuff. You might have seen some websites who directly give you the access to the application, but they never ask for sign up login. And they ask for sign up login after you give the user input. I'm sure you would have seen all these websites before, but let's go through how this developer workflow is going to look like. So this work, the graph that you see on over here, So this is not somewhere it's not a chart that I sold from the online. So this is basically my experience of building multiple AI apps combined together into a single flowchart. I believe 90% of the AI bootcamps that you're going to find online is just this flowchart. So if I were you, I'll just take a screenshot of this. If you're watching the recording after the live, pause the video, take a screenshot of this. It's always going to be useful later. Now let me explain what's happening here. So as I said, everything starts with the front end. Front end is nothing but what user sees, the actual website. So it starts there and it goes through, user will give some input and he gets some output. So it might look familiar, right? If you go to the previous slide, you see this green box, user input, and the yellow box, the output. So that's what you see here, user input, user output. When I said magic and black box, what's happening in the backend? This entire process is happening in the backend. Now we are going to see what actually is this backend. What is it actually about? So whenever the user sends some input, so you're going to have some particular algorithm or code which process the user input, and it's going to, since we are only going to talk about the AI app, it's going to trigger an AI model API. It can be OpenAI, it can be Gemini API, it can be Claude, it can be any API, but it's going to trigger an API. Now you might have a question, should I build my own AI from scratch? Trust me, you don't have to. Like majority of the time, when I say majority, 99% of the time, you don't have to build your own AI model from scratch because I'm sure you don't have time and resources for that. So why not use the model which already exists? And also, trust me, 95% of the AI startups today are just wrapper around Gemini, um, Gemini, ChatGPT, extra. I see Karthik saying we have foundational model. If you want to build a foundational model from scratch, you can do that. But for this purpose, you're just going to use the existing model because someone has already built it. Why not use it? So take the process input from the user and give it to the API, along with the prompt. When I say process, you're going to give a prompt along with it, maybe give some additional information along with it, and the model is going to give some answer. Let's forget about these three boxes. I'll come there in a second. And the model is going to give an AI output, and you're going to take that output, process the output, and send it back to the front end, to the user again. Now you might wonder, what is this pink color box, which is a database? Whenever the user sends something, um, maybe you might want to store that data in a database so that you can use that data later on. So, for example, if you go to LinkedIn, right? If you go to LinkedIn or if you go to YouTube, um, you can upload a video, you can post a post on LinkedIn. Doesn't mean that LinkedIn is just going to throw it away. They are taking everything and they are storing it in a database so that you can view it later on. So if you think your app needs that, I highly recommend adding a database feature over here so that you can store and fetch when you are processing the backend. Now let's come to these three boxes. So when you are triggering the AI model API, there are three things majorly which you can do to improve the process of the output that the AI model is going to give. The first thing, you can give the AI model access to the internet. So let's say the entire process that involves you want some updated data which you want to give the user with some updated information from the internet. You should connect the API with the internet. It might look like a complicated task, not at all. It's just like if you are using like Gemini API from Google, by default, you just have to add one another parameter, one single word to it, and it has access to the Google. So it's as simple as that. So that's one. The other thing is AI agents workflow. So AI agents is the most used term in AI community for the past couple of months. It's not complicated at all. AI agents is nothing but instead of making the AI model to work on a single task, you create multiple chunks of small agents which has its own task. So if I ask you to do everything, let's say you become a data analyst or data scientist in a company. If they ask you to do, for example, take care of building the website or also go do the sales and marketing stuff, you can't do it, right? You want your own responsibility. The same goes with the AI. So instead of asking AI to do everything, you have different small chunks of AI agents and give its own responsibility so that they all can work together to give an output. So this is getting really trending today, and you can do that as well. And finally, talk to database. Like, what if you can't? What if your AI model is not good enough to give the output? What if you want to provide some additional information to the AI model before processing the input? So that's where RAG comes into picture. So RAG is nothing but you have a database with your own information. You collect your own information, put it over there. So next time when you trigger this AI model, when the user input, when you when you give the prompted user input along with the details to the AI model, you also give this information from the RAG, which is your own knowledge database that you have, so that the AI model's output is going to be better. So I think that's pretty much it. Like whatever the app that you're planning to build, it comes under all these things. For our purposes, like we are not gonna do these three boxes because it's completely optional, and we don't have enough time for that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cover these three boxes and kind of like a database as well. And I know if you don't understand what's happening here till now, don't worry. It takes some time. I'm gonna give you a live example. I'm pretty sure you'll understand everything what I said. So before giving a live example, let's go over the tools for each step. As I said, there are going to be like three main components that we're going to work on today. First is front end, the another one is backend, and finally the AI model API. And we're going to build the front end using an AI tool called Gamma AI and Tally Forms. Tally Forms to get the user input, as I said. And backend, we're going to use a tool called make.com, and finally, we're going to use the Gemini API, which has a free tier as well. But there is a limit, but this is just a prototype that we're going to build, so it's good enough for us. And by the way, as I said, we're not going to code even a single line today. So it's all no code tools, and all the tools that I mentioned here is just no code. So let's just get started. So live demo, what we're going to do is let's do something fun. What I want to build, I want an app where the users can go and upload their resume, and the AI model will roast their resume and give that as an output. Is there any specific use case for this? Absolutely not, but it's just fun to build. But will give you an idea on how to build this AI model yourself. So when I say try to copy this project, don't copy the same exact project. Try to come up with an idea, try to build something meaningful. But I'm going to show you a live demo on how to build this resume roast. So let's go back to the tools. Let's go step by step and set up all these tools so that it can all work together and finally have our output. So first thing, as I said, Gamma AI. So I would go to Google, search for Gamma AI. So this is the first one. It can also build like a presentation slide deck and stuff. The PPT that you're seeing right now over here, it is built using Gamma AI. But now we are gonna use that to build a landing page for us. So I'm gonna go inside. I've already signed in. So if you haven't signed in, that's a pretty easy step. So here, if you come here, you see this create new AI. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to generate using one single line of prompt. So it asks for, I'm going to build the web page. By default, it's presentation, but I don't want a presentation. I want to build a web page. And let's keep it simple, right? Let's have only three cards. Cards is nothing but the number of sections that you want to have. So I'm going to define a landing page where users can upload their resume and get landing page for an AI app where users can upload their resume and get uh, roasted by AI. So let me give it simple. I mean, obviously you can edit it later, you can expand it, but let's do it fast. So it will automatically generate an outline for me. So you can see that here. So it has like a main page and also has how it works and finally something over here, some information. But I think that's fine. Uh, so let's choose a template for this. Maybe I'll just go with some random template. Amount of text per card. I'm gonna keep it brief. I don't want it to be too wordy. And the image source, I want it to be automatic. And I'm just gonna click generate. So if you wait for a couple of seconds, it will generate a landing page for us. Okay, it even added a pricing page for us. That's interesting. So it's okay. So this is the app that we built. You can technically go here, publish this. And by the way, this is just a landing page. So this doesn't like it doesn't have the functionality yet. This is just the landing page. Let's go and look at the website. So let me publish the site. I think I did it already, but yeah. So visit the site. So here we have the landing page. So this you can share it with your potential customers, or if you want to build a wait list, you can do that. But there is no functionality behind this. This is like kind of like a presentation for you. But now it's time to add the user input. Now we want the user to upload their resume. Even though there is a button, it doesn't work right now. So what I'm gonna do is that's where Tally forms come in. So search for Tally forms. So using this Tally form, so if you go over here, again, I signed in already. I've created an account. Create an account first and come and create a new form. And we can say upload your resume. So this is going to be your user input. So first thing, let's ask for the user's name. So let's click the plus icon, and the username is a short answer. So name, and let's ask for user's email. I'll tell you why the email. I'm come to that. I have an idea. And let's also, want to ask the user to upload the resume, right? So it's a file upload. I'm going to insert that. And here you can say upload your resume. So we have this ready. We want these three information from the user so that we can process this using AI and we can roast their resume finally. So I'm going to publish this form. So technically the form is ready. If I go to this, copy this link, if I go here, so the form is over here. I can directly send this to the user and ask them to upload the resume. But I don't just want to do that. I want this to be a part of my website so that they know how this entire process works and they can upload their resume later on. So a way to do that is if you come back to the form, if you go to the share tab, you see this embed form feature. So if you click on embed form, and I don't want to hide the title. I don't want to align to the left. So we have this form, and you see get the code, right? If you click on this and if you go here and copy this particular code, we can technically incorporate the form on our landing page that we just built. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back to the editor. So let me add a new section over here, and you can call it upload your resume. So I'm gonna do web page or app. If you come here, you can technically integrate the Tally form directly on this Gamma website. You see Tally form over here. I'm just gonna click on that, and we copy this particular code, right? From Tally. I'm gonna copy that again and come back here and I'm gonna paste this and I'm gonna click go. So you see the form is integrated over here. This might be little misleading because they can't, this button doesn't work. So I'm just gonna delete this button for now. So I think that's it. I think it's simple and easy. And I think there are two upload resume. I think let it be. I'm not gonna waste my time design this entire thing. It's literally like designing a PPT. You can do that directly from here. No code needed at all. So I'm gonna publish this website again. Okay, I'm gonna come to this site. So, oh, sorry about that. So I'm going to come to this site. It has all the instructions and finally it has the form. Now the user can upload their resume over here. So I think there are a few questions. Maybe I'll answer them before continuing the demo. So there is a question from Shravya. Just a quick question. Will you be able to add share the process steps after this workshop? Yeah, this entire thing is recorded. If you come back to the same YouTube video that you're watching, you can watch it again from scratch again. So Ramya, is it all free or does it require a subscription? So whatever I'm doing right now, it's completely free. When I say completely free, it's a premium model. So after a limit, if you want to eliminate this logo over here and all those things. You want to connect to your own domain, you have to pay for it. But the version that I'm doing it, I haven't paid yet. So that's it. So we have this app. Let's see whether this app works in the first place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna add my email. The roast process didn't work because the backend is not done yet. Just the front end is done. The front end is nothing but we have a landing page and we have a form to get the user input. We are not processing the user input yet. I'll come back to that later. But I'm just gonna see whether the front end actually works. So I want to upload my resume over here. So I have my resume. Okay, it's uploading and I'm gonna click submit. Okay. So let's go back to the tally form site and this is the upload resume. If I come back to submissions, yeah. So this is the resume that I uploaded. I have, so we can technically call this as a database because Tally by default, they give all these form responses in the submissions tab. So we have a table of data with all the information that we're getting in from the users. So now the front end works just fine. Now it's time to dive into the back end. So technical, like generally when it comes to backend, people are scared because it involves code. You have to use proper coding to set up, but we're gonna do it in the no code way, if you remember. So if let me come back to the slides. The front end part, the Gamma AI part to build the landing page done, and tally forms to get the user input done. Now it's time to integrate it with the backend so that we can process the resume, call the API AI model, and generate a response. And we'll see how we're going to send it to the user. So it is called make.com. I'm going to click on that. So if you just log in, so it looks like this. So if you go to the scenarios tab, so this is how you design this entire backend. So you're gonna come here, create a new scenario, and it's just gonna look like a drag and drop feature. It's really intuitive, and you can directly do that. So first thing, we want to get the resume or the submissions from the user from the tally form. If you remember, we have all these things stored in the tally form, and that's what we want, right? So what you're gonna do is click this plus icon and search for tally. So you see here, it is already integrated with this particular make.com website. So it is seamless. So I want to watch for new responses. So whenever there is a new response, I want to take it. So so it will ask for a web hook. So what we can do is we go back to this particular site. And if you go to integrations tab, so this is tally.com, tally.so. And if you go here, you can search for make over here. So this is the website that we're using. So now we want to connect this make.com to the tally website that we have. So it asks for login again. Okay. So I think I can just do this. Create a webhook, create a connection, and that's for, okay, I can give a name. It takes me directly to tally. It asks me to authorize. I'm just going to accept it. Okay. Now form ID, you see that over here. So upload your resume. This is the form that we created right now. If you go back, you can see here, upload your resume is the form that we created. And I'm just going to select that and click save. So the first part is done. So we connected Tally with make.com. Now it's time to process this data and give it to Gemini API so that we can ask AI to generate a response for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another module. So now we want to process this PDF. The resume is in the form of PDF. I want to process this PDF and get just the text out of this. So there is this website called pdf.co that can help you to do that. So if you go here, so get started for free. I already have an account, but I think this one is just a free trial. I would try to get a better alternative for this, but for now, we can just go with this. The goal is just to take the PDF and extract the text data from this. So what I'm going to do is convert from PDF into text or something. So I'm going to click on that and it asks for create connection. So it asks for the API key. So if you go to pdf.co, if you go to your home tab and if you see there is an API key. I'm just going to copy this key, come back to make.com and I'm going to paste this key over here. And I'm going to click save. Yeah, so the connection is done. So now we are gonna instead of uploading a file, you have to fill in few information over here. The goal is to take the PDF which is coming from the Tally, and we're gonna process it and we're gonna convert that into text format. So what you're gonna do is we're not gonna upload a file. Instead, we're gonna import it from a file. The file is nothing but it comes from Tally. If you just click on here, automatically it shows what are the responses that are coming from Tally. And I want to go to this upload your resume form, and there is this file URL. So this contains the PDF file. So I want to extract the information from this particular file, and all these things doesn't matter. I want to convert it into PDF to text. So that's the goal. And we can keep all these as empty. And finally, I don't want to export it as a download file. I want to export it as JSON output so that we can use it later when we trigger the Gemini API. So I'm going to click save. So I think now the parsing part is also done. So I'll show you a demo, but let's figure out the entire process. Now, you know what's happening, right? Tally is going to get all the forms, and we have a connection between Tally and Make. So whenever there is a new form, it comes to Tally. And then we have a PDF.co, which basically process the PDF that comes in. And we're going to use that and convert the PDF into text so that we can put it in a Gemini model and we can ask for something. So which means next step is connecting to the Gemini API. So you might know Gemini is nothing but an AI model from Google. So it's kind of similar to ChatGPT, but from Google. So we're going to create a completion. So I just search for Gemini. I'm going to click completion over here. Again, you have to connect it with your Gemini account. To do that, so come back, search for Gemini API, and you see get Gemini API key. If you just click on this and you see this button, get a Gemini API key and create an API key over here. And you just have to select a project and create an API key. So this gives you an API key. Again, this is what we're going to use to actually connect it to the make.com. So if you click connection, it'll ask for the API key. I'm going to paste the API key. Don't worry, I'll change this. I'll delete this API key later. You can't copy this. But yeah, so it asks for the AI model I want to use. There are many models out there. And I'm just going to go with maybe Gemini 2.0 Flash. I think that's the updated one. I'm not sure, but yeah, let's go with a random model. It doesn't matter for now. So I'm going to add a message. So what I'm going to do is first, it's a user message, and I want to add the message type is text. So I have to give a prompt over here first. And also I have to give the output which is coming from the PDF.co. First, let me give a prompt. I already have a prompt ready so that I won't waste my time explaining you how to write this prompt. But yeah, I'm gonna paste the prompt here. So if you want, you can read this. So it's nothing but roast my resume in a fun, sarcastic, and brutally honest way. Pretend I'm your friend and feel free to be a bit dark and mature with the humor. Keep it cringe-worthy, casual, and add in some dad jokes if they are if they fit. Don't hold back. Make it simple, sharp, and to the point with a total count over 150 words. So that's it. So this is the prompt. I've tried it before. It's really fun. I'm going to show you the output now. So after giving this, we also have to give my resume to this, right? Like the resume is coming out of pdf.co. So as soon as I click on this, you see this box on the right. I just want to take the output which is coming from pdf.co. If you go to the body and document and page and row, column, so that is this text file. This text is nothing but it takes my PDF and it converts my resume into text format and it just puts it over here. So I'm gonna paste this and I'm gonna save this. So that's it. Now, basically, Tally is gonna get the responses. PDF.co is gonna change the PDF into text format, and Gemini, using our prompt, it's gonna give the output. Now, finally, where can we send the output? We just collected it using a form. So I have a clever way of doing that. Since we already have an email of the user, why not send an email to the user with the rows that we have? So what we'll do is we'll also so that you'll also get to know we can also connect the email functionality over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna search for email. So I want to send the user an email with the roast output that we have. So again, you have to give a connection type, Google, doesn't matter. So it says when you're using personal Google account, there are some guidelines to follow. So I'm not gonna use a personal Google account. Instead, I use my college account. So that's it. It's just like you just have to click on the button. It asks for the confirmation, and that's done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a resume. I'm gonna add a subject first. So your roast is ready. So this is gonna be the email subject, and I want the email content to be the output that is coming from Gemini. So the Gemini gives me it gives the result. So this is the result I want. So I'm gonna click on the result, and I want this output to be plain text because it comes as a plain text. So gonna click on the result, and I think that's pretty much it. If you want, you can attach the attachment, the resume here, but I don't think it's necessary. Finally, we have also we should also connect it to the end user, right? We want to send it to the end user. So I'm gonna click on add recipient, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the email which is coming from Tally. If you remember in the form back here, so in the form back here we have a section called email. So I want to put that email in the final integration to the two address so that the user gets the email of the roast. So which is nothing but it comes from Tally. If you come here, there is a section called email. I just want to click on this and I'm going to click save. So this is technically ready. This is the workflow. This is the backend workflow. And let's now see test whether it actually works. So I'm going to run once. So it waits for new responses. It only triggers when there is a new response. So let's go back to the site and let's load the site again. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to upload my resume again. So my name is Hari and I'm going to enter my email address and I'm going to upload my resume here and I'm going to click submit. So if we come back to make, so you see here, this process is done. Now the pdf.co is working on it. So you see the progress bar on the top. So it's converting my resume into text. That's what we wanted to do, but it takes quite some time, I guess. Okay. Okay. That part is done. You see a green mark. Okay. So I think everything is done. We got a green check mark. Now it's time to check my email and see whether I actually got the roast or not. So let's come. So this is the Gmail I gave. I'm tense whether it might would have worked or not, but let's see. Yeah, it's here. So you see your roast is ready. So let's click on this. So we have this roast. So it's nothing but I'm so embarrassed to read this. So every time I do this, I've tested it before. Every time I ask it to roast my resume, it's really brutal because I want it to be. That's how we gave the prompt. But feel free to take the screenshot. I'm not gonna read this in front of you, but feel free to take the screenshot and do it later on. Just in case, if you guys want to try now, one more step pending actually. Now instead of just trying it once, what we have to do is we have to click on this check mark. So it will run this entire scenario whenever there is a new form submission in Tally. So that's what we want. So run the entire scenario immediately after there is a new submission. I'm going to click on save and I'm going to click on the save the entire thing. So if we go back to the scenarios, so you see that this is on. So that's it. Technically, we have a working website. This is the website. I can share this link. I'm going to copy this link and I can even put it in the chat. So you can copy this, you can open on your own laptop and you can do this. You can do this right now. We have an AI app ready. You can go here, scroll to the bottom. You can upload your resume. Let me reload this. You can upload your resume and you will get an email with the roast. So that's pretty much it. And I said we have a surprise. So I'll go back to the surprise. But before that, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So now, did you guys got a confidence that you can actually build your own AI app without writing a single line of code? I hope you did. But yeah, I'm curious to know that. Yeah, this live video will be posted permanently, and I have no plans to remove this at all. I hope you get to learn something today, so I wanted to stay online forever. So let's talk about next steps then. Next step is, as I said, so Tarun's question, so tally check for any mistakes in form. Can you be more clear, like what sort of mistakes? But if you explicitly ask the user to enter an email, they have to enter an email because it'll ask for, it'll check for that. And also you can do whatever you want. It's kind of like a Google form. It's not anything different. So yeah, I'm so excited as well. Kavya, Jackie, and I'm going to give you some homework, we can call it. But next steps, I want you to actually come up with an idea. I want you to build your entire AI app from scratch using this entire workflow. By the way, like the make.com, right? It doesn't have to be just Gemini API. So if you go and create a new scenario, there are n number of tools over here. So you might be familiar with like Google Calendar, you might be familiar with Google Drive, Notion, Instagram, OpenAI, Google Sheets, and X, LinkedIn. You can connect your app with any platform that you want. So, Padmavati, the question is why Tally? Is it possible to use Google Form? Yeah, you can do that. I think let's see whether make.com can connect to Google Form. Yeah, it looks like that. So you can also use Google Form if you want. The Tally just looks better, so I just used it. So Shavin, I think I just got my resume roasted super funny. That's really cool. Uh, but yeah, I'm looking forward to your submission. As I said, next step, come up with your own idea, build your own AI app, and share it on LinkedIn, and make sure to tag me so that I know you got something out of this entire 1 hour of workshop. It's not 1 hour yet because I have a surprise, as I mentioned. Let me go back to that. So next slide. So this is the surprise. So I'm going to help 15 students to build a real AI product end to end. So even though we did this entire thing using no code, there are some limitations for this app. What if you want to build your entire thing end to end, but what if you just have basic programming like language knowledge? For example, if you just know basic if else, for loop or something in Python or JavaScript, that's good enough. It's like a 4 week workshop. The deadline is March 22nd. You can go to myrealproduct.com or directly scan the QR code. So it is going to be like a 4 week of workshop where it's not just going to be like a building a project. The goal is to think beyond building a project. Its goal is to build a product. So product is nothing but like a week one, you're actually going to talk to customers, solve a problem, come up with a solution. Instead of me telling you, I can directly go there and I can show you. So this is the website. If you go to the cohort section of it, you can see what it's gonna look like. So this is the agenda. Week one, you're gonna ideate, problem solve, talk to customers, and try to come up with the landing page. And week two, you're gonna build an MVP. And week three, there will be a deployment phase. And finally, week four it only ends when you launch the app to the market and try to get your first customer. So this is especially targeted towards international students because when I came as an international student, I didn't have an experience. So everyone, wherever I go for an interview, they ask for an experience. This is a way of to break that paradox. So if you don't have experience and if you're an international student, this is a way to build your own product and showcase that during interviews. I did that and I got a better responses and I got a better interviews as well because of that. And I'm just helping other international students to do that. And we are only going to accept 15 people because I don't want it to be a cohort where we have hundreds of students. It's just going to be 15 people and it's just going to be a closed circle so that you can get a more personalized support. So again, if you're interested, scan this QR code or go to myrealproduct.com and take a look at it. I'll see you there in the cohort. The deadline is March 22nd. And coming back to our no code AI app, so if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I see few of you are dropping out, but we still have time. Maybe utilize this time. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Also, people who are sticking around, if you can give a like to this YouTube video, I hope it will reach a bigger audience so that they can get to learn something as well. So, Fahana, the program starts on March 29. So it's going to be a 4 week from March 29. Uh, what if we have to create a model purely based on interaction and response instead of uploading model? Oh, you mean like a chatbot? You can definitely do that. But as I said, right, if you're only gonna use a no-code tool, it comes with its own restrictions. But I can show you, like, if you want to build something, but you don't, it's called low-code tool, I would say. It's not no-code because you still have to code a little bit. So there is this a thing called replit.com. So if you go to this replit.com, here you get an opportunity to build your own. Just give a prompt, it'll generate a code, and you can achieve what you want, and it's fully customizable. The problem is it's paid. You have to pay for it. Or there is also one more thing called bolt.new. If you go to this site, even this just asks for the prompt. Based on the prompt, it'll generate the entire app for you, but it's a low code again. You still have to um, build, alter the code, do something with it. You should know basic programming to use these apps. So can I build a personal portfolio with this? Absolutely. I feel like Gamma.ai is the most easiest way to build a portfolio. So take this PPT as an example, right? I built this entire presentation using Gamma AI. So Kavya, I got Rose's resume in my mail. It's interesting. Thank you for trying it out. And yeah, I know it's really brutal. I've tried out many times, and even the prompt, right? Try to steal my prompt. It's really good. Uh, and also Kavya question is when is next cohort? I mean, next cohort means like the coming cohort is March 29. I'm not sure when the next cohort is gonna be. So there is this April cohort which starts on March 29. And Sai's question, does Tally accept drop-down menu option? Let's check. So what we can do is we'll go here. We will be edit it. I'm pretty sure they will. Oh, I can't click next. Okay. Search for. Yeah, they do. Okay, I don't want to save this. Yep. So I think that's it, I guess. We don't see any other questions. So as I said, I've given you two tasks. Number one, build your own app. Uh, take the link, put it on LinkedIn and tag me so that let the entire world see that you can also build your own AI app. So that's now task number one. And task number two, go to this myrealproduct.com and check it out, especially for an international student. This is going to be super helpful for you and see you in the 4 week workshop. I think we got a final question. I request to provide the workflow doc to our mail. It would be great. What do you mean by workflow doc, Kavya? Like, I think I don't have a document for this entire thing, what I did. So you can just go to this recording again. If you go to this YouTube video, keep this video. I'm not going to delete this. Even though it's live, it's still recorded on YouTube. So you can go to this YouTube video again and take a look at it from scratch if you want. So again, thank you guys for being here. I hope you got to learn something. So again, try to like this video so that it can reach more people. People can come back and they can watch this video later on. And it's so nice to see you here. Even though it's Saturday, I appreciate that you took time and effort to come here. And see you in my real product cohort. And thank you for being here. Have a great weekend. I'm going to end this live now. See you. Bye.